Right or
Good evening, friends. We have Professor Vaidya with us. Welcome, Professor.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So,
Minada.
friends, as you know, Professor R Vaidyanathan is a distinguished retired finance professor from IIM Bangalore, recognized as a two-time Fulbright scholar, ICSSR National Fellow, and a popular commentator on Indian economy and national issues. He has also published extensively on finance and capital markets with his book India Unique, focusing on the unincorporated sector in the Indian economy. And most of all, he's a favorite amongst the audiences because of his great sense of humor. So, welcome, Professor. Always nice to see you.
Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Minadi.
yeah. So,
After a long
also,
time.
friends, what I like about Professor is he never throws any airs, and he appears more as a friend than someone we know on a professional level. So, with all that, let's start with the first piece of news. We're talking about none other than vote chori, which we're talking about Rahul Gandhi going into serial wise, part one, part two, part three. So he's going on to different, sections saying that BJP and the EC is actually playing, with the votes, and many votes have been swallowed, and many of the voters have been deleted, and it's very strange, isn't it, Professor, that he doesn't show any proof, and he keeps on babbling like this. Yeah.
See, at the outset, let us be clear. Our electoral roles require improvement. On that, there is no two opinion. It's still, not completely computerized, not completely. And, we are 140 crore people. It's not something like, having a hole in Moldova or, Liechtenstein or something like that. We have we are much larger than European Union and three times, nearly four times that of US. So it's not a easy task. It has to be done. There is no two opinion on that, and it requires to be. So there is. It's not a. I would not call it in terms of commission. I would call it omission. Quite a lot of people shift from one location to another location. They don't inform properly, and their names get reflected in both the places. But they may not. It not. I would not say it's malified intention. It is bona fide. They may not exercise the franchise in both places. So it is something very important. So there is a cause for improving, I would say. There is no two opinion about it. But to, wholesale blame and make it appear as if there is a big conspiracy is going on, another thing is unwanted. Even this accusation about EVM, I would say, is very, very unfortunate because our EVM is one of the greatest, finds which we have done. It's each of them is self-contained. It's like a calculator. If you are using a calculator, can you say somebody can rig it? Nobody, because it is not connected with any other outside source at all. Our EVMs have got external market to the extent of, believe me, sir, 2 billion US dollars. We can export them. Actually, when I was in Atlanta, there are millions of polls taking place. Not only the parliament or assembly poll. There are so many, teachers, parents association, RWA association. So many associations are there, and in US for everything there is a poll immediately for. So there was a suggestion that our EVMs can be used.
Hmm.
And they were discussing. One gentleman pointed out, he is a US white professor. In India itself, many people are questioning that. They say it can be manipulated, another thing. And so they dropped it, sort of. We have uncanny knack of throwing mud on our own head. Let's be very clear. We used to have in the 80s, this there was a big market for our ink. Before you go to vote, a small ink is put on your finger, and then that is ID, and it's a very good thing. It's manufactured by a factory in Mysore. Actually, it's very popular. That time there was a demand for it to be exported from countries in Europe and other places. They thought it's a very simple mechanism, and at the same time it identifies people who have already voted. That time so many people were telling, no, 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 this ink is fraud and this will go away. And Indira Gandhi has created some sort of a method by which after 10 minutes, this nothing like that actually, just propaganda. Anyhow, so the many of the foreign countries did not buy our ink. That's a net result. They were very reluctant, and some stupid country in Middle East is making some wax type of thing and then selling it in Europe. Anyhow, what I want to stress is this exaggerated claim regarding manipulation and other thing is not called for by the leader of opposition. In a
Yeah.
sense, I can see he is frustrated. He has been launched several times, more than our ISRO launches, but unfortunately, all his launches have been failure. So he is, for instance, recently the Hindenburg came. That Hindenburg company itself is closed and gone away. They came to create a sensation and help what are known as the short sellers. They will, raise issues, and then the share prices will fall, and the people will acquire it and then wait for it to rise again. It's a very stupidest, complicated thing. Anyhow, and so then it was made a big issue. Hindenburg, and everybody told Indian Modi should respond, government should resign, and all that. Finally, that company itself folded and went away. If you ask me, some people resign their position on moral grounds. So some of these people should resign their position on oral grounds. It's the way they have been, wasting their energy. And now, added to this complication, is they are now telling, like in Nepal, the youngsters in India should revolt,
Yeah.
whatever known
That's
as
what it is leading to.
this Gen ZKLM, so many letters are there. They have chosen the last letter only. So they should resign. They should revolt. It's a very interesting thing. Elementary, they did not understand. If genocide has to revolt against, for instance, corruption and the local type of issues, then they have to revolt against state governments. For instance, in Bangalore, the potholes, if they have to revolt, against whom they will revolt? They can't ask Amit Shah or Modi to resign. The potholes are the responsibility of the local government. Similarly, the local corruption. Any item you want to go to government, you have to pay bribery. Everybody knows. The corruption is one most major secular activity in our country. Hindus are corrupt, Muslims are corrupt, Christians are corrupt, Tevars are corrupt, Yadavs are corrupt, Nadars are corrupt, you know, and Menons are corrupt, Yaravas are corrupt, Nayars are corrupt, right? All are. So somebody asked me what is the greatest secular activity. I told corruption is the greatest secular activity which unites all of us from Kohima, to Kozhikode. There is a line of corruption, and it is also equalized. That is something which is fascinating to me. The amount which is asked as bribe crossing the borders from Bihar to Assam is same as the amount of bribe collected here between Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. So there is a fascinating information flow, like anything. Uh, in those days, before the software came in railways. If you have to travel, you have to bribe that black coat man who was called uh, ticket checking.
Collector.
He collect TC. And the cabinet minister at Delhi in those days used to recommend who should be ticket collector in which location. Sialda, who should be Bombay. There was some Jafar Sharif. He used to have a long list, and his secretary used to read it on the phone to the zonal managers. This used to be the case because this ticket checkers position was considered as a ATM job in government.
Yeah.
ATM
You're
job in
talking
all.
about Jafar Sharif of Congress.
Yeah, yeah. No need to stress that point. Correct. So he was railway minister for a long time. After that, Ganikant Chaudhary came, Malda, and these railway ministers were very, very efficient, quote unquote, in terms of providing jobs to their own people and providing contract and everything. Anyhow, my point is the local you have to fight. That is the first point. Second is there is no unified all India opposition. We should remember the opposition is each state has got its own regional parties. I call them as regional business enterprises. They are not. They are also political parties, but more business enterprises, and they are handed over by father to son. Father starts a party,
So
and then
nepotism.
he
Nepotism,
executes it based on
nepotism like Bollywood, right?
all over. See, Kashmir, you take Sheikh Abdullah, then his son, then his grandson now, who is in charge, who is the chief minister actually of the state. Then you come to Bihar. Lalu Prasad Yadav started the party and he handed over it to his son. And come to Uttar Pradesh. Mulayam started the party and handed over to his son. Then you come to this Maharashtra. You have this famous Thackeray clan who handed it over to their children, and Sharad Pawar handed it over to his daughter. And then come down south. KCR handed it over originally to his daughter, but now he has expelled her. There are some complications in this family owned enterprises. Sometimes it's called actually HUF,
Hmm.
Hindu undivided family. You see, our constitution framers are very, very far-sighted. They never called it Hindu united family. They always call it HUF as Hindu undivided family. That means anytime it can be. And further down you come, there is one PMK in Tamil Nadu. The father expelled the son. The son expelled the father, and it's a very interesting type of a thing. DMK is a very unique example of all the parties because Karunanidhi did not form the DMK. He is not one of the original founders of DMK. He hijacked it and then handed it over to his son. So when you say dynasty, it means a political party handed over to the children. Why they are handing it over to children? As a finance professor, somebody asked me. Point is simple. They accumulate huge amount of money, and whom do they give the money? They would not like to give it to outsiders and other things. So they would like to give it to them, and it has to be kept within the family. So better to have it through the son or daughter, and obviously some conflict comes if there are, and some of them have more than one wife. That is another extra problem. Karunanidhi had three wives. Some of you may be knowing about it.
Yes.
So his first wife, son M.K. Bhuti, wanted to project, it didn't succeed. Second wife, two sons both fought with each other, and finally Stalin. And third wife has got one daughter, and she is also has aspiration. So when you have multiple wives, the problem get compounded because each have got their own, interest and aspirations. And now this Anbu Ramadas, for instance, it is alleged he has got three wives. It appears originally he had only two wives. Now the third one is also being found out. I think it is like discovering newer and newer planets, They,
Artifacts.
so they suddenly find out one more wife we have found. So this is the so this type of political spectrum is there. 20, according to my estimate, 25 families are conducting politics in this country, including the Congress, which is the first family, you can call it, handed over from mother to son and other. Interestingly, this Jahangir Gandhi, the wife of husband of Indira Gandhi, his birthday was last week. And he is such a. His father-in-law was a prime minister. His wife was a prime minister. His son was a prime minister. His daughter-in-law was sort of pseudo prime minister. All these things were there, but none of them even mentioned his name. None of them even went to his grave. Or it's a very sad state of affairs. Anyhow, that is the first handed over family. That is why it is called dynasty. So these 25 families cannot get into any national level issues and other things. They are interested in accumulating wealth, and their ideology is just collecting money. There is nothing more or nothing less about it. And they often and on they will come out and say that like this youth. He is called youth leader. This I could never understand. He is significantly older than being a youth leader. Anyhow, India, the definition of youth itself is very, very dicey. In Europe and US, 16 to 24 is youth, very clear. Here it extends up to 65, 70, 75, even 90, I think. I am also a youth actually. However, a youth, my students are yet to be born. So that is the
Yeah,
situation.
yeah,
Anyhow, he is considered as a youth icon. And some people say he's a youth icon, some people say he's a youth leader. So he is very, what I would, people have been telling he is Papu and he is not. I have always been maintaining, don't take him lightly.
yeah,
Don't take him lightly. He is operated by several forces and he travels. Some reports suggest he has traveled some 84, 85 times in the last 2 years. And nobody knows where he goes, why he goes. He doesn't take all the security and other thing with him. He says he is a free man. Anyhow, so he is now having this as a single point agenda. What this electoral. So on that basis, and that election commissioner chief, poor fellow, he, he is every day he is bombarded. He is told that you are cheating, you are, he is just taken over and he wants to, none of our election commission people are known to be what one can call, except that Chawla was very pro Congress openly. He was, and he acted like a chamcha of this Sonia Gandhi. Otherwise, by and large, T.N. Session was the one who really put fear into the minds of the people, and he didn't create any new laws. He only implemented what was already available. He was very strict and rigorous. So this type of thing by the leader of opposition is not going to be helpful. Added to this is a complication is that Sam Petroda from New York, he is suddenly telling, I was in Pakistan and it looked like I was in India only, and so people are telling, why don't you go and stay there? Why are you staying in US? So this is one additional. And he says Bangladesh, Nepal, Pakistan, wherever you are, you feel like being. I would say if you go to Bradford or you go to Manchester or Birmingham, you feel you are in India or Pakistan
yeah,
only. The number of people with the burqa is so large. So, and many of the Indian restaurants are actually owned by Pakistanis. They don't want. I asked one of them, why do I was in Manchester Business School? Why do you put the India? He says, sir, if you put Pakistan restaurant, there will be a lot of discussion, and people will ask where from you get your money and all these things. So if you put Indian restaurant, it will be. So
yeah,
even in Birmingham or Bradford, you will feel as if you are in Pakistan. So this logic given by our friend Sam Petroda is, being in a place, you go to Bali, you feel like you are in Hindu land. So that doesn't automatically make it as part and parcel of our country, our heritage, yes, but not our anyhow. And already Bangladesh is facing a severe crisis. It's everybody knows about the coup which took place there, and that unelected and person who doesn't have any clue, he has come as a chief. He says he will conduct a poll by February. One doesn't know. And this ISKCON temple priests have been arrested, and they are having their own turmoil. And plus, US is wanting to have its base. US is very clear. Pakistan is its poodle. He can get anything done in Pakistan, and it also thinks that using Pakistan, some of the minerals and other thing in Balochistan, it can have access to. One doesn't know how long, how far they will be successful. And this person, what is this? Trump is the most, unpredictable. Actually, like stock market betting, you can do on Trump behavior on a daily morning basis. Depends on which side of the bed he gets up, and he will be. He says, great friend of Modi and everything. He says India is a great country. Also says that Indian economy is dead. I don't understand how these two can be going together. And his own country's this Apple, it's newly launched a product, huge history fight taking place in Bombay and Delhi to collect that product. Anyhow, Trump is very, and in a light-hearted fashion, I shouldn't say this, Meena is around, but still I am puzzled whether in US men get a menopause around the late 70s and have this problem of hormonal imbalance. I really do not understand because any one day he is not consistent with his statement to the previous day. That is his. He says yes, and he declares something. The Ukraine war is over one day, and then he says it is not over. And he says Putin is
and
like,
today, and today, when Prince Charles was speaking, he was bored to death. He was almost asleep, because Charles was bringing up all the history, and didn't understand the APC of it, and he was almost asleep.
yeah, yeah. He's one good president. I love him because neither history nor geography understands. He wouldn't know where Nepal is, where Pakistan is in the map. He cannot locate it.
But
Only
tell me
thing,
something. But tell me
only,
something, Professor. See,
only
between
thing is his
Venugopal,
business mind.
yeah,
His
between
own business.
Venugopal, no, no, what between Venugopal and between Sam Petroda, I mean, Rahul is getting advice from these two people. So even if he's confused, he'll become more confused, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So, all of them should resign on oral grounds. Again and again, I am telling, not on moral grounds. Anyhow, so, these are all dream. After some time, Rahul will himself will forget about it, I'm sure. It's like he's not talking anymore about Hindenburg or anymore about
Yeah,
the
Adani.
French fail. So many issues he brought in,
Mm.
actually. And over, period of time, each one of them is dropped. He is trying to find out which issue he can cling on. He is getting some interesting youngsters preparing some PowerPoint presentation for him, and then he puts it on the board, and you must read it and other thing. It's a last. Anyhow, I am not very sure this will click in a country like India. And interestingly, today the result of the Delhi university elections have come, and all the president, secretary, joint, everything has been won by ABVP, which is the student body of BJP.
Yeah, yeah,
So his Gen Izzad is not even in Delhi, in his own place. He is not moving towards any revolt
yeah,
or anything. Anyhow,
yeah.
very interesting. In his own place,
So
I'm talking.
you were talking about dynasty. Now Modi has no dynasty, and he's now this is his third term. I mean, people are not going to doubt his performance anymore, isn't it?
Correct. So anyhow, so till the Bihar poll is over, I do not know how many seats he is going to get in Bihar because that is going to be a major contention. Last time he got some 70 plus and he won only 19. So now I think that Tejasvi will give him only 20 or 25, which he is not going to accept. So this is going to be a very interesting thing. If his launch from Bihar is again like our original Tumba racket in 1958, and then he is going to be in deep problem. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, and all the other cases are coming up against him, National Herald case and this case and that case. Anyhow, he
yeah.
one thing is sure, he is extremely frustrated. That much one can say, and that is why he is telling, read my PowerPoint, read my PowerPoint. He's
And today, surprisingly, he also said that he's a patriot. He loves India, and suddenly he started speaking about love for Desh,
love for.
country.
Yeah, yeah, love for country. That I agree. Actually, you should remember there is one lady who who sat on the center of the road in, in Gujarat, Ahmedabad or some city, because she was given only four golgappas, four panipuris. She has paid for six. She sat in the center of the road for Dharna, and she wanted to, maybe more than salt satyagraha, this Panipuri satyagraha may become popular. So Rahul should take lesson from this when he wants to indicate himself to be patriotic and other thing. Anyhow,
Yeah.
so it won't work. That much I can tell. The Nepal type of thing, Gen Z, another thing in India, because 140 crore people, roughly according to my estimate, 40 crore can be classified as middle and lower middle class. These are aspirational classes, and all these kids want to achieve something. They are not interested in any more street fights, and they all want to grab the. See, when the market is growing, when the economy is growing, everybody wants to have a share of the pie. Everybody wants to have a share of the cake. Nobody wants to get lost on that or something. We have 100 unicorns in our country. It's growing actually. And this aspirational middle class, he wants to go up in ladder. That is what its aim is. I think Rahul is not understanding it. And he should know one thing, that genocide members in Nepal, they say that we want a leader like Modi to lead us. This is something he has not heard about, I think. This is some interesting thing. Just one
Yeah.
second.
Yes, yes.
Hello?
So, friends, just bear with me, just a few seconds, and then
Five
Professor
minutes.
Professor will be back.
2 minutes, ಬರ್ತೀನಿ.
Yeah. Meanwhile, some comments. Yeah, yeah. So, Professor is
Just
back.
1 second, I am coming.
Yeah, yeah. So let's just take a few comments. Milburn says, any chance if Soros and Son are sent to Alligator Alcatraz, things will change. And Vasu says, oh my gosh, RV sir is so right about dynastic family. RNAW has, Raw has an eye on him, Home Ministry aware. Now, Milburn says, so when will political positions stop being a family business in our country? Any chance at all? So here, Milburn, Modi ji has proved it very well. He has not, brought his whole family into politics. He is doing his job single-handedly, and people are appreciating it. The professor is very interesting, and I love his talks. In fact, Milburn, we've been hearing his talks for quite a few years, and the good thing about Professor Vaidya is that he connects a lot of his subject, which is finance, with a lot of humor, and especially about middle class. people, and it becomes so very interesting to listen to him. And once he had invited me to his university, to IIM, and we had lunch together. And I find people like Professor Vaidya some of the gems that our country has. Now we'll move on to see another interesting topic, which I'm just waiting for Professor to come back. The latest news is that the American Army has landed in Bangladesh. Now the question is, are they going to create problem for India first or China? We know they wanted Saint Martin Island, which Hasina refused and which cost her a job. Their intention of creating a Christian state in northeast area and Myanmar, how India should be concerned about this. It's very easy for them to block the small corridor, which is called the Chicken's Neck, connecting West Bengal and northeastern states. So this is something that we need to find out from Professor. And moving back to the topic about vote chori, what I understand from Rahul Gandhi is that he has an agenda in his hand, and this agenda is that, like Nepal, he wants to use Gen Z as an excuse to say that youngsters are unhappy with India and the Indian rule, and they want Modi out. And this is what he's trying to do. And it's also obvious that he's been complaining all the time, right from the time of the EVMs. He's been making a lot of noises. And if he really had so many doubts about the EC, the first thing he should have done was go to the court and explain. That's what the EC has said. Why does he only make public statements? Why can't he just go to the courts and give all the facts that he has? He says he wants to protect democracy, but he's doing exactly the opposite. And his sole aim is to create chaos because he has absolutely no solid proof, and his mission is only to destabilize India. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for Professor to get me back. Yeah.
I had
Yes.
one courier.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
sorry.
So, yeah, no, not a problem. Professor, now the latest news is that the American army has landed in Bangladesh. Now, are they going to create a problem for India first or China? We know they wanted Saint Martin Island, which Hasina refused and which cost her a job. Their intention of creating a Christian state in Northeast area and Myanmar, how India should be concerned about this. It's very easy for them to block the small corridor, which is called the Chicken's Neck, connecting West Bengal and northeastern states. What are your views
Yeah.
on this, Professor?
My own reading is, US will not escalate anything. They will try to create a base. This they have been asking Bangladesh for quite some time, and Sheikh Hasina was resisting it. She doesn't want to give it. Now the Diego Garcia is also going away, and the Britain has given it back, of course, with a facility to keep the army. And so the Bangladesh, they would like to keep one, to start with, one base. And we have to wait and see the Bangladesh poll, what happens in the Bangladesh poll, and what type of. So I don't think immediately US will try to take any, what drastic action, because they are more interested in the Bagram, in that Pakistan edge base. That would be more nearer to Chinese atomic factories and other thing. So I think, as far as Bangladesh is concerned, their focus will be slowly to establish a base. That will take a couple of years at least, minimum a decade perhaps. So after that, we have to see. As far as this closing this chicken neck and other thing is not an easy, task. It's only a vocal threat or something. It's not going to be very easy. And the situation in Northeast is not what it used to be in the 60s. It's not so volatile and other thing. Again, Northeast, lot of these Northeast people are very enthusiastic, aspiring middle class. Today, you will be surprised to know significant portion of the Northeast girls are working as air hostesses in various of these airlines and other thing. They are very enthusiastic. They are applying for jobs in the, in the rest of the country and other thing. And because of the, history and the Christian missionaries and other thing, their English is very good. So I think they are. It's not the position of 60s or something. They want, one important thing is nobody wants to leave India. In the leave India, I mean, as not as individuals, but as a cluster. Because whatever said and done, it provides you a lot of cushion and a lot of opportunities to exploit. If I am only in a small location, my region is very small, and within that, I have to search for opportunities. India is such a vast country. For instance, Biharis can come to Bangalore, Odisha people can go to Kerala, Kerala people can go to Delhi, like that. It's a huge type of base. I think we need not be, uh, we should be careful, but we need not be alarmed about it as of now. And anyhow, if Trump is another 3 years, that is another dimension because in US, as you change the regime, various aspects and various dimensions do change. We wait and see.
Yeah. And one last question before I let you go, Professor, is that with AI, a lot of complications are coming in. For example, the way Congress projected Modi ji's mother, and distorted the whole image and the way she was speaking. Uh, with AI, they can do a lot of damage, isn't it?
Sorry, with which one? Iran.
With AI, artificial intelligence, they have used
Yeah,
artificial
yeah, they can
intelligence. Yeah.
create, like they created he and his mother and other thing. But I don't think our people will take it easily. They can always distinguish. Like in Tamil Nadu, this new fellow Vijay is creating artificial. He says yeah, Annadurai is standing next to him and appreciating him and other thing. These type of gimmicks, will be there. In the olden time, they used to use this photography and affix with the past. It's
Yeah.
similar to that. This AI is not identical, but similar to that. I don't think our people will be taken in by those things.
Thank you so much, Professor.
Yeah.
Wonderful
Any
talk.
questions from the audience or from your?
Yeah. Okay. So let me just take a few. One second.
Uh, maybe
Yeah.
one or
So,
two.
yeah, Milburn has asked, so when will political positions stop being a family business in our country? Any chance at all?
Quite a distance it has to travel because we have on one side BJP, on the other side, unfortunately, we don't have a single political uh, party which is not family oriented. This is very important. It will evolve over a period of time. Quite possible from the current Congress itself, it can evolve. Let us wait and see.
Yeah. And one more question
Hopefully,
that she asks is, any chance if Soros and son are sent to Alligator Alcatraz, things will change?
no, 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 no. I don't think it will go to that extent. Soros and Son, they might, if at all any such possibility is there, they might leave and then go to Switzerland or something and live there. Anyhow, it won't happen, I'm sure.
Yeah. And one last point from Vasu. He says, oh my gosh, sir, is so right about dynastic family. Raw has an eye on him. Home ministry beware.
Yeah, yeah. See, the point is some of the things you cannot take any action or anything because it could be perceived as vindictiveness. This is something very important. It has to come slowly over. Suppose tomorrow Rahul is arrested and put inside, then obviously it will be talked about as vindictive. You are not able to answer him, and that's why. So one has to be cautious. Also, global pressure. A lot of these leaders have got links with abroad, so this is something for very important.
Yeah.
And so one has to handle it very, very carefully. For instance, this Ram Mandir, so much time was spent, so much Finally, the court has to clear it. Whatever said and done, whether you liked it or not, the Supreme Court has cleared that. So it is a legal process which was followed. And so it takes a lot of time and effort in all these things.
Yeah.
Let's wait and see.
Yeah.
Ah,
Professor, see, since you spoke about courts, now the new CJI has made a very derogatory statement about Hindu deities. And, he almost mocked Sanatana Dharma. Said that, see, we should go and ask the
he himself,
deity.
couple of months before, he himself told he was appointed there because of his caste.
Caste. Yeah.
Because he is SC. He himself told. So you can't, he will suddenly say, I am above all religions. He will say all religions are same, and all this crap they will talk. Anyhow, I don't think you should take it seriously. Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Professor, for this wonderful talk. Good night. Jai Hind and Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you very much, Minadi. Thanks a lot.
Good.